This morning, we are deeply honored to welcome Daaji, Shri Kamlesh T. Patel, the global guide of the Heartfulness movement. A visionary teacher and spiritual leader, Daaji has dedicated his life to making meditation and yogic wisdom accessible worldwide. Under his guidance, Heartfulness has touched millions of lives across more than 100 cities, inspiring harmony and inner transformation. A visionary teacher and author of international repute, Daaji has dedicated his life to making the timeless wisdom of yoga and meditation accessible to modern society through a simple, heart-based meditation practice. With a rare ability to bridge the ancient and the contemporary, he offers practical methods for balanced living, harmony, and holistic well-being. He has addressed global platforms, including the United Nations, international universities, and leadership forums, where his message of peace, compassion, and unity inspires people across cultures and in. We are very privileged to also welcome among us today Honorable Governor of Punjab, Gulabji Kataria. We welcome his presence here. Let us now have together the privilege of inviting to the dais Revered Daaji, Global Guide Heartfulness. We welcome Revered Daaji among us. Today we have the good fortune of attending a masterclass by Revered Daaji on conscious living. The principle of conscious living is fundamental to each one of us, and I now invite Revered Daaji to lead us through a session on conscious living and also guide us with a short meditation.
My hearty pranams to one and all. I am asked to speak on hearty living. आप सब तो जानकार लोग हैं और स्पेशली ज्ञानी को ज्ञान कैसे देवे बड़ी मुसीबत है. You are the epitome of society. All of you are somehow following the principles laid down by the great Tirthankars. What is there for me to say? Yet, we can share, we can bridge so-called apparent gap between the theories and practices of Jainism and how it synchronizes. It forms the perfect appliques with the way heartfulness is carried out in the whole world. Heartfulness, if you say in essence, is Jainism. Jainism is the mother of all religions of the world. And there is no doubt about it. Jainism precedes all religions. In fact, Rishabh Devji, the first one, who made this planet from a Bhoga Bhumi to Karma Bhumi, meaning people did not have to work before his recommendations, before his advocacy. He taught the world how to do agriculture first. He was the pioneer in creating a civilization where human intervention can change the productivity in the society, and the frequency is no longer dependent only on nature, but with human intervention. It was his research, especially the spirit. He pioneered this idea of transmission. What is this transmission that I'm talking about? He, with his sapa or with his yogic powers, he could transmit a spiritual condition to a person who is in need of it. He could do that with a will, with a sankalpa that may such and such thing happen, and it will unfold. Transmission in Sanskrit is pranahuti. It has nothing to do with prana pratishta or sakti part or that sort of things. It is pure essence that emanates from the heart of such a rishi. What is this pranahuti? To make you understand his urge, just food for the body, nourishment for the body. We take balanced diet. Likewise, we have another body we call subtle sukshma body, also known as Chitta, Manas, Buddhi and Ahankar. It is fine-tuned and nourished by our parents, elders. We learn from our sastras, gurujans. We interact with each other and enrich our mind. Now, Rishabhji asks fundamental question: how to nourish the spirit, how to nourish the soul, how to nourish your prana. He gave the answer also, which is repeated in Kenopanishad. Kenopanishad second sloka is all about that. Just what I have repeated just now, ki body needs nourishment, mind needs enrichment at that level. Prana needs pranasya pranaha, and he at will could do that to whoever came in front of him. He could transmit the essence and nourish each individual with spiritual need. It's passing, this knowledge was lost. Just as after Sunidhi's passing, Sunidhinath's passing, the 9th Tirthankar, there was a big gap between the 9th and the 10th Tirthankar. There was a dark age in Jainism. Many things went bad. Many rituals which were not initially taught were forced upon. Whatever be the reason, it was a need of the hour that Rishabhji took rebirth to guide the humanity as the great Mahavir. That the gap is almost 5,000 years between Rishabhji and Mahavirji. The first became the last and last was the first. Heartfulness, the guide of heartfulness, Sri Ramchandraji, who hailed from Fatehgarh and born was in 1873. He rediscovered this pranahuti and gave it to the world. He revived it and made sure that after his passing also it can continue and make people benefit. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, but there were two giants, two things. One of them is, the first one, Rishabhdevji. He was the Suryavanshi. He was the seventh, hailed, he prevailed 73 generations before Sri Ramchandra of Ayodhya. He belonged to the same dynasty, same, as we say, same bloodline. Likewise, there is one more Tirthankar, Neminath, who also was directly related to Lord Krishna. So these are all not or mythological stories, but these are the facts. We must be proud of our heritage. We must imbibe the essence. We should not depend on external things. Yesterday someone asked me, is our destiny fixed? Is my karma that is all driving me today? No, you have a choice. Based on the choices that I make now, my future will unfold. Based on what I have done in my past, my present is unfolding in front of my eyes. But am I the slave? Am I restricted only to no less a person than his own mother, Kaikeyi? So, the best one, the most loved one can change your destiny. Anyone can change your destiny. The wars that is happening between Russia and Ukraine, one for example, Palestine and Israel, Islamic world and the non-Islamic world. These are all man-made things. We can influence the course of history. Do you think those millions of Jews had such a common karma to be killed mercilessly by Hitler? No. So karma is a dynamic phenomena. God has given us the choice, freedom of choice, either to do right thing or wrong thing. Now who will decide what is right and what is wrong? A terrorist will say, okay, if I do these things, I will go to heaven. To them, such acts of terrorism are great things. So it depends on your upbringing, your conditioning, as we call in our shastras, your samskars drives your attitudes drives your activities, and your activities designs your destiny. Now, coming back to when we work backward, destiny decided by our activities, decided by our attitude. Spiritual person would ask, what determines my attitude? What makes me choose something and not other thing? What drives me to like something and dislike something? Many a times, even when I don't like things, there are many situations in a family, you don't like things, but you end up compromising. That also forms sanskars. Eastern tradition talks about karma and effect of karma resulting in samskars. Jainism gives a great importance to these karma phalas or karmas they are called samskaras in a common language. Either you can stop them or remove them or fry them up like samvar or ashrav or nijra. How to prevent? It's like vaccination. Before the disease can engulf you, vaccinate yourself. In karma, how are you going to vaccinate the effects of karma gluing to your soul, to your consciousness? These karmas are carried by our soul life after life. Gita talks about leading a life in such a way that these karmas don't stick to your consciousness and you don't take it forward after death with your soul. Easy to talk and say, I will not allow this karma to settle down on my consciousness. But it is very simple to arrive at a residue-free soul, karma-free soul, even while indulging in the daily activities of our life. Heartfulness teaches one fundamental thing, that my spiritual life must never be ignored. I must practice spirituality 24 hours a day. That should be my undercurrent. It should be my foundation. But I should not ignore or discard my material duties, the duties towards the family, towards the community. Often people say you should not have attachment. Why not? To be attached in a loving way towards your parents, towards children, towards your loved ones, what is wrong with it? We call God in different words. God is love. Then why should not I love others like God? So love is not an obstacle. Love is the only way to go forward. You look at the eyes of people who has renounced the world in greed for God. You don't have to suffer to attain that ultimate realization. Just as a bird cannot fly with one wing, it needs two wings, human life, our spiritual life and material life, which should be treated like two wings of a bird, balanced. I should not go into material world also so much that my spiritual life suffers. And I must not ignore one for the other. Both have to be attended in the most fascinating way. If I am doing a business, if I have the ability to make 10 crores, make 1,000 crores. Make it wisely, spend it wisely. Many people also say it's a crime, it's sinful to make money. But it's not correct. If good people, if good-hearted people stop making money, what will happen? You are leaving the avenues open for the bad ones. And when the bad people make money, what will happen to the society? It will be in the hands of terrorists. Also, I would like good-hearted people to get involved with politics. JITO should raise such members who can strongly guide and navigate the political world, political arena of our Indian governance. We must rise. Only when you have powers in your hands, you can make decisions and constructively change the society. I cannot say I'm a Jain and I'm so and my purpose is only God realization. That will be a wrong thing. If you shy away from the communal or duties towards the community, towards the nation, no wonders you have to say only politicians will run the country, and when the bad-hearted, selfish people run the country cannot progress. Good-hearted, strong-hearted people to navigate our country, our communities. So we need spiritual warriors. No less a person. We have to develop that spirit of a tiger or a lion and roar in the society and say, yes, we can achieve it. I may be following certain religion, that's okay. But my religion must be able to influence the rest of the society. My way of life must be contagious. The way I lead my life must make other people, and especially my children, proud. Children today, the youth today, are distancing themselves from religion. Why? Because there is a big gap between our belief and our action. What will happen in 2150, few hundred years from now? People then would laugh at us. They will say, oh, those people who lived in 2025, they had things in their hands. They believed in God, but they did not have Shraddha. Belief is easy. To develop authentic Shraddha, it's a different matter altogether. And what is the reason behind it? Beliefs is a whitewash. I believe, so I don't have to do anything. Automatically, we end up concluding that believing is enough. When you ask your mother or father, Mummy, मुझे बता, तो ईश्वर में मानती है कि नहीं, सही में बता, तो गुस्से हो जाएगी. क्यों ऐसी बात पूछता है मुझे? क्या नहीं जानते हो कि मैं मानती हूँ? नहीं, क्यों मानती है? तो उनका जवाब क्या होगा? मेरी माँ ने बताया, मेरे पिताजी ने बताया, मेरे दादा ने बताया, अपना धर्म ऐसा कहता है. बट आप क्या कहती हो? गुस्सा करेगी. आनंद तब होगा जब मैं कहूँगा कि मैं मानता हूँ बिकॉज मैंने उनका अनुभव किया है. Belief is not enough. I must be able to experience divinity. Should I experience it outside myself? It cannot be. Experience has to be only from inside. That's why Eastern traditions calls such an entity as Antaryamin, one who dwells within. One who dwells within has to be experienced inside, not outside. It is never possible. When we, with lot of reverence, lot of faith, we approach their asars. We have 24 Tirthankars. सभी कौन सी मुद्रा में बैठे हैं? सभी लोग ध्यान मुद्रा में बैठे हैं। आजकल जो होर्डिंग्स होते हैं, एडवर्टीजमेंट, दे आर ऑल विजुअल ग्राफिक्स। विजुअल ग्राफिक्स का पर्पस क्या होता है? इट कन्वेज a meaning, it conveys a product, it advertises a product. 24 Tirthankars are also telling us through their Dhyan Mudra कि हमने जो कुछ भी प्राप्त किया है वो ध्यान से किया है। आप भी ध्यान करो तो हमारी जो हालत है उस तक पहुंचे सकते हो आप। एक ही रास्ता है, ध्यान से ही हम आगे पहुंच सकते हैं। अब मैं ध्यान के बारे में बताऊंगा थोड़ा। आप बताओगे ध्यान का मतलब क्या है? Some of you answer to yourself only what it means to you. Thank you, thank you. I did not hear you, but I thank you. वो डिस्टेंस बहुत है ना। आप सब खुद को जवाब दे दो, ध्यान क्या है? कई लोग बोलते हैं शांत हो जाना ध्यान है, आंख बंद करके चुप रहना ध्यान है, साइलेंस में बैठना ध्यान है, विचार शून्य हो जाना ध्यान है। But these are all the outcomes. Focused mind or the concentration of the mind is the outcome, product of dhyan, of meditation. When we split this word dhyan, Sanskrit का शब्द है दी प्लस यान। दी ये जो धातु है संस्कृत में, ये 2 बार गायत्री मंत्र में आ चुका है। धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। धी का मतलब क्या है यहाँ? अल्टीमेट विजडम। गायत्री से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि माँ मुझे अल्टीमेट विजडम दो, प्रज्ञा दो। लेकिन बोलने से थोड़ी हम विजडम मिल जाती है, करने से मिलती है। मानने से ईश्वर नहीं मिलता, अनुभव से कुछ आगे बढ़ते हैं, अनुभव से भी नहीं मिलता, जिसके बारे में हम आगे बात करेंगे। और ज्ञान का मतलब है, धी का तो समझ गए आप, विजडम, अल्टीमेट विजडम, नॉट ऑर्डिनरी विजडम, अल्टीमेट विजडम। ज्ञान का मतलब है वाहन, vehicle. Vehicle that transports my consciousness to the ultimate wisdom is dhyan. Now you can appreciate the research of Rishabdev. This pranahuti की जो ताकत है, it moves this vehicle of consciousness from where we are to where we should be. Without this transmission of pranahuti, you cannot become dhyanmayi. It is not possible. Can you imagine the whole earth is bombarded with nuclear bombs, and what remains are empty houses and empty cars. And few of us are left behind. There is no fuel in the car. How will you ride the cars? It needs energy, it needs petrol or electricity to drive it. So dhyan, without this energy from a person of caliber, you cannot shift your consciousness into a next dimension. It's a must. कल हमने कई लोगों को ध्यान करवाया था, कान्हा में जब आए थे, They are the witness of what this transmission can do to your consciousness. It shifts, and it incrementally shifts as we change from inside. More the purity in my heart, more transmission will flow into my heart, and more shift in consciousness will happen, and slowly we march towards Kaivalya. How? As I said, belief is good, experience is better. But experience is not everything. एक बार अनुभूति हो गई, यह काफी है? नहीं. Suppose fortunately, ये प्रकाश भाई है ना, उनके घर पहुंच गया मैं, और वो बोलेंगे, दाजी आप यहाँ हमारे साथ रहो 2-3 महीना, हम रहेंगे, मजा करेंगे, उनका हॉस्पिटैलिटी, आतिथ्य भाव. 3 महीना रहा, अंदर से क्या लगेगा? इनकी हॉस्पिटैलिटी तो बहुत अच्छी है, आतिथ्य भाव तो तगड़ा है, काश मैं भी उनके जैसा होता. आप समझे कुछ क्या कहना चाहता हूं? Divine experiences can be great. जैसे rich hospitality is great. But to become rich, to become divine is another matter altogether. To experience divinity and becoming divine, they're two different things. So now we are moving from mere belief to experiencing to becoming divine myself. Nothing less will do. Next step, having become that divine, the highest step is to get rid of that also. Only then you can say, I'm moving forward, I'm going forward. जैसे जो दीपक भाई है ना, बारडोली वाले, उन्होंने मुझे कुछ चिट्ठी दी है ना, खास करके मैं पढ़ के बताता हूँ. Based on the development or the heights that a person attains, in Jainism, they are given 5 different types of fabric. एक है अरिहंत को देते हैं, दूसरा सिद्ध भगवंत को, तीसरा आचार्य भगवंत, उपाध्याय भगवंत, एंड सो ऑन. ये पंच भूत से जो अचीवमेंट्स है, उसकी बात हो रही है यहाँ पे. हर पंच भूत के अलग अलग कलर होते हैं. जिन्होंने पृथ्वी या जल या अग्नि पे मास्टरी की है, उसको ऐसे ऐसे कपड़े पहनाए जाते हैं. Arihant is the highest. How and why? Heartfulness says you attain liberation when you are free from desires. But it's a very low state. Moksha, liberation, is the lowest state freedom. Next one is when your ahankar, when your ego also dissolves and you become eligible to merge with the ultimate. That is called a state of merger. Let me explain to you what this merger is all about. Kabir, I'm sure you have all heard of him, and he talks about merger, and he describes it in a very simple way. He said it's like raindrops falling in the ocean. Raindrops falling in the ocean, and what happens? Ultimately, each individual drop becomes the ocean. My Guruji says, it looks very high, but it is from this state of merger that the actual spiritual journey starts. To my understanding, Arihant's journey starts after the merger. How? I don't know how many of you are familiar with science, chemistry, periodic table. Can you raise hands with periodic table? Oh wow, there are so many of you. Thank you. You know hydrogen? It's an explosive element. And oxygen, it fuels that explosion. Both are deadly. But when they merge, they become the life giver. Let me give you another example. Sodium, it is known as terrorist element. Little moisture and it explodes with blue light. And chlorine, it's a poisonous gas used in warfares. It kills people. One is explosive, another is a killer. But when they merge together, it becomes sodium chloride, the salt of life. Without it, you cannot exist. Without salt, no life possible. Without water, there is no life possible. Now, what we merge with divinity, am I really lost? No. Your purpose changes. Just as I mentioned, you are liberated. It gives you total freedom. People say, I don't like to come back on this planet again. फिर से बार-बार इस जन्म नहीं लेना है. But people like Mahavira, Rishabdev, they say, I'll come back again. क्या उनकी खोपड़ी हट गई है क्या? नहीं, वो सेवा करने के लिए तत्पर है. After merger, your purpose changes. Your goal of life changes. Now you want to make others attain that goal as easily as them. You are not selfish. You become very generous now. You sacrifice your freedom and choose. So freedom is not only not being born, but you also have a freedom to be born. Do you know how long, as I mentioned, I already told you that it took 5,000 years for Mahavir Swami to take a birth. Why such a long time? Ordinarily, when a soul passes on, abhi mara or abhi paida. Next womb is already waiting for such lower level of souls. But higher level of souls, they have to wait for the right motherhood, right mother's womb. So, दिव्य संस्कार या दिव्य जननी और गर्भ संस्कार वो आखिरी मोमेंट पे हम नहीं सिखा सकते हैं. इधर आप में है या नहीं है, जन्म से ही होना है. और जन्म से ही गर्भ संस्कार चाहिए तो माँ को ही शुरुआत करनी पड़ेगी. इट्स ए विशियस साइकिल. और एक खास करके एक बात बताना चाहता हूं कि suppose at this age of 70 years or 80 years आपको ईश्वर प्राप्ति हो गई या कैवल्य स्टेट प्राप्त हो गया, आपका तो नसीब खुल गया. Will you be able to transfer your chromosomes, your genetic patterns to your next generation? You cannot. So it is important to make spiritual growth before, ahead of time, as early as possible. That's why there is so much of decline at the ethical level, moral level, because this genetic thing is continuously getting diluted. Moral strength is getting diluted, ethical strength is getting diluted. So the weaklings are produced with each generation. If you want the future generations to be better and stronger than us, I'll have to work hard. It is easy to destroy yourself because there is no effort required in destruction. To construct something, to become something, you have to make efforts. Without this effort, system tends to decay. And that's a universal law explained by thermodynamics. A state of entropy is created when there is no energy input. Well, anyway, I have spoken long enough. I don't have much time left also. And we have to meditate as well. I was requested that I should conduct meditation, so we will conduct meditation now and stop talking. Thank you, thank you. I will show you, thank you. She can say it. Okay,
Let us all now prepare to meditate with revered Daaji. Heartfulness is a simple heart-based meditation. The method to meditate is also simple. We sit comfortably. Closing our eyes, we relax ourselves. And we bring our attention to our heart with a simple supposition that the source of divine light is already present within my heart. We begin with this idea, and if thoughts arise in the mind, we simply let them be. We gently bring our attention back to the heart if thoughts arise, and remind ourselves that we are meditating on the presence of the divine light within the heart. Please start meditation. A very natural outcome of a heart-based meditation with a heartfulness tradition is a harmony and balance that comes between the inner and the outer environment. As part of making the outer environment in tune with the inner peace and harmony, heartfulness is taken a project of aviation across the Tirthankar hills. Let us now together watch a short video on the profound impact that has been created in the Tirthankar hills.
finally, my heart is not satisfied until I express my gratitude to all the JITO members who invited me here, recognizing Heartfulness as own and shared your love with all of us. We are here, shoulder to shoulder with you. We'll work together and spread the messages of the holy Tirthankars all through the globe. With that in mind, I would like to start a Department of Philosophy at the university called HARI, H-A-R-I, Heartfulness Academy of Research and Innovation. That's where we'll have a special department on Jainism, and thank you. The chair, I'd like to name it as the chair of Sri Rishabhdeva. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daaji. As part of the upcoming collaboration with JITO, we are very happy to announce an upcoming partnership with the JITO Environmental and Sustainable Group. I invite the chairman, Shri Anand Choradiyaji, to speak about this upcoming collaboration.
सभी को सादर जय जिनेन्द्र। रिवर्ड Shri Daaji, beloved Daaji, we are totally overwhelmed to see the work of well-being and also external well-being done by you. The contribution to mankind, to environment, which you are doing is phenomenal. JITO Environment and Sustainability is the youngest committee which has been formed after Navkar Mahamantra Divas, and total focus under the guidance of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on Jal, Jameen or Jungle and Prakrutik Kheti and Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. We will like to make sure JITO, all chapters India will try and collaborate with your august organization to make sure the project we have taken up under Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, total 9 lakh trees JITO has planned to do the plantation across country. We will definitely work hand to hand and shoulder to shoulder with you. Thank you so much on behalf of JITO. We will like to present an environmental calendar which JITO has specially curated to spread awareness on environmental well-being. I will request Vijay Bhai, Prithvilal Ji Kothari and Himanshu Bhai and all the Apex team members to come on the stage to offer the calendar to honor Daaji.
जय जिनेन्द्र, आपने तारंगा जी हिल का फॉरेस्टाइजेशन देखा, पालितना में टॉरेंट फाउंडेशन के थ्रू हो रहा है। इसी कड़ी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए टुडे वी हैड ए मीटिंग विद संकेश्वर जैन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, ए मेजर तीर्थ इन गुजरात, with the 4 lakh trees today with the Kana Shanti Vanam. It's a big achievement. सर, आज की ये मिशन एक महोत्सव में परिवर्तन हो गए और अगले 2 साल में यही झाड़ के सैपलिंग्स हम जब संकेश्वर को ही हरा भरा करेंगे तो एक नए कुदरत का करिश्मा होगा। धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। नमस्कार, जय जिनेन्द्र। आज की इस खास सुबह में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। तन के लिए, मन के लिए सब करते हैं, लेकिन आत्मा के लिए करना भी अहम है और आदरणीय दाजी ने उस दिशा में हमें एक नई राह दिखाई। और अब जीतो की तरफ से मैं अनुरोध करूंगा आदरणीय श्री हितेश भाई दोषी, जीप चेयरमैन श्री जितेंद्र भंडारी जी, जोन चेयरमैन TNAPTS जोन श्री रोहित कोठारी जी, चेयरमैन जीतो हैदराबाद श्री जयंत जैन, वाइस चेयरमैन जीतो हैदराबाद श्री ललित चोपड़ा, चीफ सेक्रेटरी जीतो हैदराबाद श्री BL भंडारी, कन्वीनर जीतो कनेक्ट, और श्रीमती मधु जैन जी, फाउंडर एंड डायरेक्टर ऑफ IIFL फाउंडेशन, और हमारे प्रवीण जी ढोका साहब की वे मंच पर आए और सम्मान, बहुमान और आभार व्यक्त करें आदरणीय श्री कमलेश पटेल जी दाजी साहब का, कि अपने समय को एक कीमती मोड़ देने के लिए हम सभी के साथ यहाँ पर मौजूद हुए। और अब से कुछ ही क्षणों में मंच पे आमंत्रित करेंगे आदरणीय गवर्नर साहब पंजाब, well, it's not just a session that we had, but we have two momentous books to be released. Ladies and gentlemen, JITO family, at this August gathering, Daaji and the dignitaries would be releasing two books. They'll be unveiling the book cover, and these books are on our holy Tirthankars and the Heartfulness Way बुक 2। मैं अनुरोध करूंगा बहुमान के बाद आप सभी ये पुस्तक विमोचन का हिस्सा बने। ये पुस्तकें हैं हमारे तीर्थंकरों के बारे में, और दूसरी पुस्तक है द हार्टफुलनेस वे। जेंटलमैन, लेडीज, व्हेनेवर यू रेडी, श्री हितेश भाई, श्री जितेंद्र भंडारी जी, श्री रोहित कोठारी जी, श्री जैन जैन जी, श्री ललित चोपड़ा जी, श्री BL भंडारी जी, श्रीमती मधु जैन जी, श्री प्रवीण जी ढोका, and as soon as the book is released, I would request everyone to pose with the book cover. थोड़ा broader picture frame बनाएं so that everyone is captured. मैं आप सभी से अनुरोध करूंगा थोड़ा थोड़ा पीछे हो जाएं, and everyone if we can pose with the book cover to be seen. Everyone, मधु जी आइए प्लीज आगे। Okay, to the camera, everyone, with this holy book on our Jain Tirthankars. A proud moment. And yes, this book isn't just a hard-bound collection of papers. It is what we are all about. ये न सिर्फ हमें एक राह दिखाएगी, बल्कि आने वाले जनरेशन्स को, हमारे बच्चों को, हमारे तीर्थंकरों के बारे में बताएगी। आप सभी यहीं बैठे रहें क्योंकि दाजी के साथ और भी कार्यक्रम हैं। अब मैं अनुरोध करूंगा आपके बहुमान के लिए हितेश भाई, जितेंद्र जी, रोहित जी, जैन जैन जी, ललित चोपड़ा जी, BL भंडारी जी, मधु जी और प्रवीण जी आदरणीय दाजी का बहुमान करें और जीतो परिवार की तरफ से उनका सम्मान और आभार व्यक्त करें। श्री नरेंद्र जी शिशिमाल भी मंच पर आए ये बहुमान के लिए। And ladies and gentlemen, let's have a huge round of applause. We all know what this presence means to us. एक नया और बहुत ही पॉजिटिव ऑरा चक्र यहाँ पर क्रिएट किया और एक पॉजिटिव नोट के साथ हम अपने आगे के वर्ष के लिए यहाँ पर नई ऊर्जा के साथ, नई एनर्जी के साथ प्रवेश करेंगे, जब हिंदू नव वर्ष